Livinpink here with CyberActiv and EifeR from Team 4Not. So, how are you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I'm actually pretty relieved I didn't have to play today, so I'll get enough rest tonight. So pretty good.
So how did that happen? I heard you had a bye pretty much until round 5.
Sure. So players like QXE, Binsky, Caliber, they got pushed up from winners round 5 to the pool play because some other players who were from the summer arena didn't actually choose to come. And so as a result, the top seeds in the open bracket, 1 through 8, or at least 1 through 6, were pushed up from open bracket to winners round 5. So we got seeded 4 rounds in.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about having your first match tomorrow? It's probably going to be someone good.
I mean, it's a blessing and a curse because I practiced for like 2.5 hours today thinking, oh my god, okay, I'm about to play, get ready. And now I get to have like another day's worth of like relaxation and preparation. So it's good in that respect, but then again, my first match is going to be coming right out of the gates against a top player, and so I don't get to have like warm-up rounds in rounds 1 and 2.
I guess you could always ladder or do customs.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your username?
Well, whenever I was bronze, I didn't want to have the same name I'd used since I was like 5. And so I was taking German at the time, and I thought that a name like Eifersuchtig is it's pretty ironic. It means jealous in German, so like, are you jealous of me? And I was in bronze, so I thought it was funny. And then I started playing for like the next 2 years, year and a half, and I got kind of good. So it's doubly ironic.
What was your username before that?
Oh, God Nod. Like, from Tiberian Sun, Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun with the GDI, and then Nod. Yeah.
Okay, so now you're in Team 4Not. It's kind of a newly Starcraft-oriented team, so can you tell me a little bit about that and like your good players, the ones you're counting into getting good scores?
Sure. So originally, 4Not was a very strong LoL team, and then they decided to branch out into multi-platform and recruited some Starcraft II players post MLG Anaheim 2012. And so players like Not.EifeR, Boyo, Zenicider, Jake Bake, Gimmicks, and Eifersuchtig are now on 4Not. And we're mostly Grandmasters, I think 5 Grandmasters and a Rank 1 Master. So we're participating in ESEA and the other team leagues to try and just have a pretty decent shot at the team leagues. Like we were power ranked 8th out of like some 20-some teams for ESEA. So I think we'll probably hopefully make a splash here tomorrow, and then maybe do well in the team leagues later on this year.
It's already looking pretty good with the bye with the round 5. It's already much better.
Actually, my teammate as well, 4Not Zenicider, got a winners round 5 bye as well, because he was the first seed and I was 6th. So both of us got it.
That's awesome. So how did you get into like StarCraft, and how did you become competitive at it?
Okay, well, whenever my brother was 8 and I was like 4 turning 5, he got StarCraft Original for his birthday. And since I was 5 until maybe like 14, I played StarCraft 1. And then I switched over to Warcraft 3, just customs, not competitively. And then from Warcraft 3, I played pretty much every real-time strategy game, like Age of Empires 1 through 3, Command and Conquers, Red Alert 1, 2 expansion, like all of those. And then I switched over after my college apps were done in January of 2011. So I had the goal of finish all the college apps. And then once they were sent in, I had time to relax in my senior year. And so I got StarCraft II and started playing. And at first I was pretty bad, but then I mean, StarCraft is kind of like my childhood. So I decided, hey, I can actually like get to Masters. I got there first season, and then I've just been steadily increasing after the summer of 2011.
Okay, so when did you realize you were competitive at this? And do you do that full time, or do you have something else going? Are you a student? Do you have a job?
I'm not sure I would say that I'm entirely competitive because I haven't had the results that you would expect from a competitive player. I've put in the time, so hopefully that'll pay off this tournament. But I think about 2 seasons ago, whenever I got promoted to Grandmaster, I was starting to beat top North American players and starting to have good games with Korean pros. And then the continued time that I put in, that was the big thing, was after my first year, freshman year, ended in college, I decided, well, I'll try and make a shove for Anaheim. I got sponsored via the Blizzard WCS. I qualified for USA Nationals. And then I went on to Anaheim, did better than other people expected, not as well as I thought I could do. And then went on and decided to put in a lot of time leading up to Raleigh.
So do you have something else going on, or only StarCraft?
Well, I mean, I don't just do StarCraft. I mean, I'd say I have a life. Like, I hang out with my friends at college. I play Frisbee competitively.
I meant like if you have a job, or just like, or do you live full time as a pro gamer?
Yeah, so I go to school. That's my main priority. And then also this summer I worked on 3 different political campaigns just to get experience. And then besides that, and then just hanging out with friends, I played StarCraft.
What do you study in?
Well, I'll be studying political science with a focus in the international, so like public policy, that kind of thing. And maybe go work for the State Department, consulting firm, something like that.
Is your dream to keep playing StarCraft, or is it to go into political science?
There's a big difference between what your dream is and what your passion is, because I really enjoy StarCraft. It's something I've done since I was like 4, literally 4. So I'll keep on doing it, but I won't be able to do it competitively. I won't be able to put in the same time I put in this summer and next summer, because I'll have to get an internship, that kind of thing. So I'm doing it. I put in the time for this tournament. We'll see how I do, and then that'll be probably the relative end. I'll keep playing. I'll just maintain my skill instead of trying to improve.
What if you did really, really well and like you had crazy opportunities?
We're not going to think about that.
Okay. Besides that, how do you like being with Team 4Not? Do you have I don't know, is there a lot of team practices? How's the dynamic and with all the players, the managers and such?
Sure. So I used to be on Team Fallacy, which was a High Masters, Low Grandmaster team, and we would have team practices all the time. We'd practice among each other, and we would improve, and as a result, I was able to improve enough to get on Team 4Not. And we don't have team practices in the same manner. We don't really like get on Skype and have like in-depth conversations about the strategies and what the timings were and the interlocking timings. But we still have weekly practice every Thursday night, and then we all do have a minimum of something like 20 hours a week that we have to play, that kind of thing. So it's we still get the time in, and each player puts in their own time outside of the scheduled practice and outside of the scheduled hours per week. Like we all put in a lot more time than we have to, like contractually.
Good. So you play Protoss, and why did you pick that race?
Okay, well I played Terran for Season 1, and I figured, well, the combination of Chrono Boost and Warp Gates essentially break a real-time strategy game where you can have a large influx of units on any point in the map. Pretty much destroys the macro mechanic of a typical real-time strategy game, and so the combination of that plus the area of effect like Storm, it's just too good. And so because of that, I chose Protoss because I thought it was the most overpowered. I think it's ridiculous whenever people are like Zerg OP, Terran OP whenever they play Protoss or something, because why wouldn't you play the race you think's best? So I chose Protoss.
Well, I chose Terran, and I actually think it's not OP at all.
So switch.
Yeah. Well, do you think Protoss is slightly overpowered?
Excuse me?
Do you think Protoss is slightly overpowered?
Yeah. I mean, like, the ability to have warp gates and then warp in anywhere without any, like, I remember QXE was talking on an AMA about having proportional warp in time, because that doesn't exist, and that you can chrono boost your warp gates, so if your macro slips or if you have an attack incoming, which you didn't plan for and you didn't scout, so you played poorly, you can make up for that by chrono boosting your gates and getting the units out.
That makes sense. So what's your biggest accomplishment in StarCraft? Like, did you beat any player you weren't like thinking you'd beat, and then you were like, oh wow, I beat like this Korean player or something? I
mean, to say that I'd beaten very good players, I mean, I've beaten many Koreans. I play in Playhems very often and other tournaments like the AGL, the SPGL, that kind of thing. So I do tournaments where I play against top players, and I don't think it's significant to say, oh, I beat one top player one time. So I've beaten enough of them that it gives me confidence coming into a tournament like this, but I'm not going to pick one player and say, oh, I beat like MKP or something, because I didn't beat MKP. But like, I wouldn't pick a single player and say that then demonstrates that I have talent. I wouldn't say that.
No, but you could have been really excited. Like, let's say you beat Nesty. I think I'd be like, I beat Nesty.
Sure. So on that note, I mean, the first time I beat Crane, he used to be on FXO. He was a very strong Protoss. I beat him like 3 times in a row in Play-Em, and that was like awesome because I mean, I held a 4-gate with 1 gate in a. It was pretty dicey. But like the point was, that was the first Korean pro that I actually like beat consistently, and I thought, hey, maybe I can do this.
Okay. So thank you for this interview. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to do?
Sure. So shout out to our sponsors, Twitch and so on. And then also thanks to my teammates for supporting us. Thanks to Team Fallacy for getting me here. Thanks to my parents for letting me do this. Thanks to my friends in college who support me. And I hope that I can give you good results in the next day to make sure that my time and your time paying attention is worth it.
I look forward to seeing that. Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview.
Thank you.